Welcome friends to the Making of Scotland, where we journey through the ages, from the first footsteps after the Ice Age to the birth of our nation. Each episode tells the stories, legends and facts that shape this land we call home, Scotland, the land of legends, locks and brave hearts. If you enjoy these tales, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment with your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Now, let's step back in time and see how it all began. Picture a jagged outcrop on the edge of the Shetland Isles. It's midnight 2,000 years ago, and a gale is screaming in from the North Atlantic with enough force to snap an oak like a dry twig. But inside the Broch of Mousa, there's a strange, uncanny silence. A young girl lies in a bed nook, built into the thickness of the wall itself. She can feel the vibration of the waves against the rock, but the tower doesn't budge. There's no mortar, no glue, just the weight of 10,000 tons of sandstone holding the world at bay. She listens to the fire crackling in the central hearth far below. Around her, her kin are sleeping, protected by a fortress that's more than just a house. Above her, the double walls of the Broch rise 13 metres into the dark, tied together by flat stone galleries that act like the ribs of a giant. It's a middle finger to the elements. For the tribes of the north, these towers weren't just buildings. They were statements. They were the skyscrapers of the Iron Age. And today, we're going to find out how and why they were built. Now, if you look at a Broch today, it looks like a giant stone cooling tower. But look closer. These are perhaps the most sophisticated dry stone structures on the planet. The secret lies in the hollow wall construction. Imagine building two separate stone walls, one inside the other, and pinning them together with flat slabs every few feet. This didn't just save on stone, it created a massive internal staircase that spiralled up through the very heart of the wall. It made the tower light enough to reach incredible heights, but flexible enough to withstand the battering of Scottish gales. But here's the kicker. They did it all without a single drop of mortar. No cement, no mud, just clach air schleith. Stone upon stone. Every rock was shaped to fit its neighbour with such precision that the weight of the tower itself locks the whole thing together. If you pull one stone out at the base, the whole thing stays up. It's a feat of physics that would make a modern engineer sweat. So, what was it like to live inside a stone chimney? It wasn't as bleak as you'd think. These towers were the penthouses of the Iron Age. We find evidence of wooden floors, likely reached by ladders or those internal stone stairs. The ground floor was probably for the livestock and the heavy work, grinding grain on rotary querns. But as you went higher, the air got cleaner and the status got higher. The chieftain's level would have been draped in furs and woolens, lit by the glow of the central fire that rose up like a pillar of light through the middle of the tower. But there's a mystery here. Most Brochs only have one entrance, a tiny narrow tunnel that you have to stoop to enter, guarded by a guard cell where a sentry could sit with a spear. It tells us that while they loved their comfort, they were always looking over their shoulder. Was it a status symbol, or was it a panic room for when the neighbours came calling? The answer is likely both. There are over 500 of these towers scattered across Scotland, mostly in the north and the west. But why did they stop building them? Why pour all that sweat and blood into a tower just to abandon it a few centuries later? Some folks say the Roman threat from the south forced the tribes to change their tactics. Others reckon the social structure shifted, that the tower lords lost their grip on power. But even today, 2,000 years later, these towers refuse to fall. They stand as ghosts on our coastlines, defying the rain and the rot. When you stand at the base of a broch, you aren't just looking at a ruin, you're looking at the sheer ambition of the Scottish spirit. They wanted to touch the clouds, and they did it with nothing but the stones beneath their feet. Next time, we're moving into the shadows of the earth. We're exploring the souterrain, the mysterious underground chambers that served as the secret larders and hiding holes of the Iron Age. But before you go, I want to hear your theories. Why do you think they built so high? Was it to show off wealth, or were they genuinely terrified of something coming from the sea? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you've enjoyed this vertical journey, give that subscribe button a click. It helps us keep the history alive. Cheers for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.